Hello everyone and welcome to Terravita Tech. For this week, I'm going to talk about the ForeTees Algorithm. I'm going to address your concerns as well as your frequently asked questions and hopefully debunk some myths out there about the lottery process. So let's take a look. As you can see, I've already started off with your frequently asked questions and concerns. How does a lottery work again? I have talked about this in previous Terravita Techs, however, I'm going to talk about it again a little bit more in detail now. Am I doing anything wrong? Well, there really isn't an answer to this. There is stuff that you do that can hurt you, and there's stuff that you could do that can help. And that talks about question number 3, what can I do to help my chances? And question number 4, actually it's a concern. I'm not getting my tee times. What's up? Past 3-4 weeks, I haven't gotten my time on Friday. What is going on? Please help me out. Am I being singled out? This is a very legitimate concern. And I want you to understand why. I want you to understand, we understand why you feel that way. However, I want to clear that up as to why that is happening. And I'm here all summer. That doesn't help. We have gotten that a couple times, and I do want to address that and hopefully help you understand that that is definitely not the case. I'm getting frustrated. Probably the most legitimate concern and frustration is being frustrated. So hopefully with all this, we can kind of mitigate some of that frustration. The ForeTees algorithm. The ForeTees algorithm is weighted by proximity. What that means is the weighting is determined by the difference from your requested time to the actual time that you get. And the higher the weighting, the higher your priority. And the group weighting, which takes into consideration of whether you're a single, a twosome, threesome, foursome, or if you're making a tee time for 4 groups, it takes the average of everyone in your group, and the group weighting is part of the algorithm. Lastly, I do want to make this abundantly clear that the golf staff does not make your tee time at all. We click a button that runs the ForeTees algorithm, and then that gives you your times. And then based upon certain things that you have requested in your request, you will either be assigned or unassigned. This time of year, we get a lot of unassigned times, especially on Fridays and Sundays. Because of that, we follow a specific protocol. We take all those assigned times and then we plug in based upon the remaining unassigned times on the highest weighting we give preferential treatment to and bring them down to the next available slot. And if there's no slots remaining, then we will give it based upon, or a certain amount of slots remaining, we will give that based upon the amount of times that are available as well, or that are requested. Concerns. I'm not getting my tee times. What's up? Am I being singled out? I'm here all summer. That doesn't help. I'm getting frustrated. Let's go to the next slide and hopefully we can answer some, if not all, of those questions. Am I doing something wrong? Maybe, maybe not. Factors that hurt your chances. Having 4 groups. Having 4 groups, although awesome because you get to play with your buddies, it actually can hurt you. And I do want to discuss that, especially when it comes to Fridays. Let's imagine a Friday, it is a double tee. Let's imagine that double tee is a box. And in that box, we have 1 slot remaining. And it's an early slot. However, you made a request for 4 of those slots. So the algorithm is going to bypass those 4 slots because it's impossible to fit 4 tee times into 1. So a group that has maybe even a little bit lower weighting might get inputted and inserted into that 1 remaining slot because they made a request for 1 group. Okay, again, that's very specific when it comes to a Friday double tee. So be conscious and aware of that, especially when it comes to those days. Sundays are also a very busy day, and the 4 groups can hurt you, especially when it comes to being unassigned and assigned. The individual weighting, that is something that has to be very carefully thought out. And you can't think of this every time you make a request because each person in your group plays a certain amount of days. And so let's say, for example, you don't get your tee time on Friday. and you're way off. You request an 8, but you get like a 5 o'clock tea time. You get a really high waiting for your next tea time. And let's say for Wednesday, you actually get your time. So you have a really high waiting on Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, you get a really, really low waiting because you actually got your time. So that's going to bring your average waiting down. Okay? So you have to take into all your considerations, and hopefully that helps you understand as to why you are not getting your times on certain days and you are getting them on others. So keep that in mind. Number 3, narrow window. Narrow window. If you can get rid of that narrow window, the better. The better chance you have of getting your tea time. The wider the window, the better. Let me repeat that. The wider the window, the better. The default setting for ForeTees is 2 hours before and 2 hours afterwards. If you can move that up to 6 hours, 10 hours, whatever that is, again, whatever you can do, please do it. That will help you get a assigned tea time, okay? Often, especially on Fridays and Sundays, some of the busier days of the week, we will get many unassigned tea times, 20, 25, 30 unassigned tea times, and we have to plug them in following that protocol I just described. Am I being singled out? This is totally understandable. You've gotten late tea times every Friday for the past 3-4 weeks. What's going on? Is it me? Is the golf shop doing something? Absolutely not. Let me make that clear. The golf shop does not make any tea times. Golf shop does not make any tea times. The lottery, we click a button that runs the lottery based upon the ForeTees algorithm, and then that is inputted into the tee sheet. And then we follow our protocols based upon your group weighting and then whatever slots are remaining, and we follow that procedure to fill in the remaining slots. Lastly, I am here all summer. That doesn't help. The algorithm only considers what we dictate. We dictate for the past 14 days. And I'm getting frustrated. I totally understand that. If you're not getting your tea times, I can see how that would be very frustrating. But again, that is something that the algorithm dictates, okay? What can I do to help? Once again, the wider the time window, the better. I've said this 3 times already now. I'm going to say it a 4th. The wider the time window, the better. Smaller groups, this is kind of, it might help you, might hurt, I'm not sure, but who knows? So if you can, maybe the smaller groups might help, just a thought. And then, are you sure? Here's the deal, when it comes to that, if you are questioning, Wes, I'm not getting my tea times, what's going on? I can literally show you how the lottery was run for a specific day. I can show you your group weighting over the past however long that you want, and I can show you all this information whenever you want it. And it's really easy. All you have to do is come talk to us and we will address that situation. It'll look something like this. This is a slide that I've shown in the past. And this is for a certain person over a certain set amount of time. And again, if you want to see how a certain day is set up, I can also do that as well. I hope that clarifies any questions that you might have, especially any of those concerns, and I hopefully debunk some of those myths out there about why I'm not getting my tea times. If you still have questions and concerns, please do not hesitate to give me a call or shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to help you out. Thank you for tuning in for this really long edition of Terravita Tech, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.